Hi, everybody, and hello to all that are watching. Yes, sir. I decided to do something silly this time because why not? And honestly, we got 22 days till high school football, and I'm like, how do I kill more time? Why not? You know I'm a Simpsons fan. You know that. Come on. I've been alluding to it all this time. I came up with a list of my 50 favorite episodes. But don't worry, we're not going to do all 50 this week because I'd be here till 8 p.m. It's 2 p.m. right now. But yeah, we got to get to it. So without further delay or anything crazy, let's hop into it. We're going to talk about episodes number 50 to 41 this week, 40 to 31 next, and so on and so forth up until we get to 10 to 1. I can't wait. So if you call yourself a Simpsons fan, watch this now. We're going to start off with episode number 50. Already got a grin on my face. It's this one, Homer's Phobia. Great episode. Season 8. There's Homer with Bart meeting Roscoe at the steel mill. Now, initially, they go to an antique store where John is working there, and Homer becomes friends with John for being so smart. But it turns out, contrary to what Homer wants, John is gay. But this episode is very respectful and very nice and has a very strong message nonetheless. Homer looks down on John due to stereotypes, which of course aren't good, but the rest of the family enjoys him and learns a lot from it. Like, for instance, in Japan, Santa Claus is called Annual Gift Man and he lives on the moon. And Ken Brockman cheated in Springfield Marathon. And there was a plumbing store in Springfield where Lupe Velez bought the toilet she drowned in. And this is the best part of the episode, by the way, where they work hard, we play hard. It's so funny and so good. And Homer just realizes that it's just really frustrating for him because he thinks John's turning Bart to be gay. But in the end, it all works out because Homer becomes desperate to the point where he takes Bart and his friends deer hunting at a local reindeer farm, and they begin to beat up Homer and Bart the reindeer after Bart accidentally fires the gun, and it looks like it's going to be the end for them. And then John shows up upon realizing that they're at the reindeer farm, and he brings out Annual Gift Man from Japan. And the reindeer are scared and run away because reindeer are afraid of their cruel master Santa Claus, according to John. And in the end, Homer has a new appreciation for John, and it's really nice. And it's got a strong message. Be nice to other people. Be nice to people who are gay and stuff, and I'm pretty sure we can all agree with that. And, of course, the steel mill scene is awesome because of Everybody Dance Now playing. That was so funny. Yes, and it plays at the end of the episode again. You know, everybody dance now. Oh, that was so good. It was so good. It's really well written, very nice. John Waters stars as, well, John. And it's just really funny. Yep, there they are. Homer saves John, or John saves Homer's life from the crazy reindeer. Oh, yes, that's such a funny episode. Number 49 is Miracle on Evergreen Terrace. It's a Christmas episode. Yep, we're going to talk about Christmas in the middle of summer. Yeah, why not? It's Christmas, of course, and Bart is itching to find out what he got for the holiday. As you can tell right there, he woke up in the middle of the night after drinking 12 glasses of water and having dreams of cheerleaders going, "Go, go, go! We're number one! Give me a P!" And it's so funny because Bart then wakes up, gets the fire truck, and he plays around with the fire truck, and you'll see it catches fire and destroys the house, or destroys a tree, I beg your pardon. "Where's Christmas?" Homer asks. And Bart has to explain to him that a burglar came and destroyed the tree and took all the gifts. A dejected Simpsons family walks around town seeing everyone enjoy their Christmas, including the old people. And their story makes Channel 6 headlines. Homer drinks his problems away at Moe's Tavern and feels really saddened by this, especially Bart. up until the point where everybody sees a Christmas miracle happen. In a funny parody of the great American movie, It's a Wonderful Life, everybody pitches in and donates money. Well, Lisa, do you have to practice that stupid song now? I love that scene because it makes fun of It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, boy. And Mr. Burns asks if anyone has change for a button. And eventually they get a new car that winds up not working out because it goes underneath the ice and explodes. And Bart tells them the story of what really happened about how he accidentally burned down the tree. Yeah, where's Christmas, Homer asks. They go on Jeopardy. Marge Simpson goes on Jeopardy and loses $5,200. Almost as if she's like Sean Connery or something. And unlike Sean Connery, not only is she trying to be polite, but she also owes them money, and the judges come after Marge. In the end, everybody steals everything, but it's still funny nonetheless. Woo-wee. Episode number 48 is Sunday, Cruddy Sunday. Yes, sir, the Super Bowl episode. When Super Bowl 33 happened. Yeah, that was a while back. There's Wally Kogan. Yep, he is the realtor, I think, and he is a Springfield resident. And he got Homer tickets for Super Bowl for not just Homer, but his friends as well. None are more excited than Mo Sizlek, who wants to watch the Atlanta Falcons. There's Rudy, the pipsqueak, according to Mo, who can't make it. You know, Rudy, the great movie. I'm a Notre Dame fan, but it's still funny nonetheless. And Homer's looking forward to seeing the Denver Broncos. Of course, that's a joke because they had no clue who was going to play in the Super Bowl at the time of production, so they just slapped the names on it at the end. Yep, there's Reverend Lovejoy feeling sad. But yeah, they see all the football stars, such as Rosie Greer, the oldest living NFL players, 53 years old, Troy Aikman guest stars. And not to mention Dan Marino throws a pass to Bart, and it's intercepted by Homer Simpson. Watch this. It's coming right for him, and Homer, right out of nowhere, takes it. Pat Summerall and John Madden also appear in that episode, too, at the end, analyzing what happened. It was super funny as they go for Homer. And Homer buys a scalper's tickets. And it's not real tickets. They're crackers instead. And Homer tries to sneak in with everybody, and they end up being in the stadium jail in Miami. Yep, Dolly Parton frees them eventually upon seeing it's Wally Kogan. And Homer says, who's right? No, Wally says, who's right for some football? Homer yells, football! They run up the spiral, and they have no clue what they're doing because Homer was following Flanders, and they go to Rupert Murdoch's, where Rupert Murdoch's actually voicing himself, the billionaire tyrant himself. You know, that's what he called himself. And the players say, hi, Rupert, in the middle of the game. And they eventually go down to the field, but before they get to the field, they wind up in the winning team's locker room. And get a call from the president and see that they have the Lombardi Trophy and a ring. Episode 47 is Lisa's Date with Density. Ooh, good one, season 8. I've always wanted a 1979 Honda Accord. Yeah, it looks great. I mean, Skinner says he wants to be a car owner himself to Superintendent Chalmers, who bought a 1979 Honda Accord as soon as he finishes paying off Mother Skinner. But the H is missing. What's the point of having a Honda if you can't show it off? He goes crying home like a little girl, according to Skinner, which he realizes is kind of funny. And they fail to remove the H from Kearney's car. After an investigation, it's Nelson Muntz that steals the H. He gets detention, screws around and acts goofy and stuff. And Lisa notices, and Lisa realizes that she likes Nelson, and they fall in love. And Nelson does a lot of nice stuff to Lisa, such as playing the guitar, a touching version of Joy to the World, the teacher's dead. We barbecued her head. And it's so funny. Yeah, Lisa doesn't like it, but still. When the other boys see Nelson kiss Lisa, they mock him, but Nelson eventually gets them back by teaming up with them to bully Skinner and egg his house. And he then leaves to go to the Simpson household where he talks to Lisa and they run away from the law. And Lisa realizes that not everything's meant to be. Yes, there's Nelson stealing everything from people, including Ralph and Miss Krabappel and Lisa. But yeah, they decide to end it, and Milhouse, when learning about it, realizes that maybe he can fall in love with Lisa again. But earlier in the episode, Mr. Argo said it best. Nobody likes Milhouse. No. Episode 46 is I Love Lisa, good one, season 4. Whoops, sorry, folks. What is the greatest Valentine's Day song of all time? It's the Monster Mash. Seriously, the Monster Mash is the greatest Valentine's Day song ever written. No doubt about it. Because KBBL plays it during the Valentine's Day marathon. Marge makes Homer breakfast, Ned sings some Maud, and Bart makes mean candy grams, which is so upset to Skinner because Johnny! He has a Vietnam flashback to Johnny, who was shot and killed trying to give his lover Valentine. It's so funny. And Miss Hoover, I glued my head to my shoulder. And he ate his red crayon. Ralph doesn't get any Valentines until Lisa gives him one because she feels bad, saying, I choose you. Ralph mistakes this as Lisa liking him, and he decides to walk her home, asking if she likes stuff and saying that he wouldn't have any nosebleeds if he kept his finger out of there. And during President's Day, Lisa's going to play Martha Washington, and George Washington's going to be played by Ralph. There's Break On Through to the Other Side by Krusty the Clown. And then when they get home, Lisa gets a giant gift from Ralph himself, a Malibu Stacy convertible. Upon looking in the trunk, I think he means trunk, it's tickets to Krusty's 29th anniversary special that you're looking at right now. And of course you just saw, that's a Sideshow Raheem. It says for me to bonk you on the head. I wouldn't. And then the best part, talking to the audience, where instead of Krusty asking Ralph if Lisa's his sister or cousin, he goes right to saying if it's his girlfriend. Like, why would he say that? I mean, they're 8 years old, for God's sake. No one's thinking relationship. And Lisa ultimately snaps, as you're looking at right there. You can pinpoint the part where Ralph's heart breaks in half. And then they go to the President's Day pageant, where we see the mediocre presidents and John Wilkes Booth, played by Bart, saying, Hasta la vista, A.B., and eventually being dragged off stage for taking it too far. Ralph gives a riveting performance, contrary to personality, and in the end, Lisa realizes that Ralph is still nice and tells him, let's be friends. And there's a B. And they go on to swing set, and we hear the Monster Mash again, because once again, no Valentine's Day song quite like Monster Mash. Nope. Episode number 45 is When Flanders Failed. Good one, folks. Yes, sirree. In it, it's a barbecue at Ned's house, and Homer doesn't like it because it's Ned Flanders, but he eats all the food nonetheless. He learns that Ned is going to quit his job so he can start up the Leftorium, because did you know in Simpsons creator Matt Groening's left-handed dominant? Of course, that's why all the characters like Ned are left-handed. I'm not. Unless I swing a baseball bat, a golf club, or hockey stick. Enough on me. The business struggles. Homer gloats about it. And Bart's learning karate so he can learn about the Touch of Death, the arcade game. And things are going so bad for poor Ned that he's going to have to sell his house and he's going to have to live somewhere else now. And Homer realizes that's all his fault because during the barbecue there was a wishbone scene where Homer wins and wishes that Ned's business fails miserably. And Homer realizes that's his fault and apologizes to Ned in this touching scene. And he feels like a jerk. So in a last-ditch effort, he calls everyone he can think of, telling them to go to Ned's store. And sure enough, everybody goes to Ned's store after Homer stole everything from Ned. And everybody's happy. The richest left-hander in town. Also another It's a Wonderful Life parody. Mr. Burns likes it. It's one of the best endings. And you know what I like about it? Homer might be an idiot. He might be lazy. He might be drunk. But at the end of the day, I feel like one thing that contrasts Homer to other characters is that at the end of the day, he seems to be nice. And that he cares. Even for those he doesn't care about. Like Ned Flanders, he still cares nonetheless. Such a great episode. A Streetcar Named Marge is episode number 44. It's a classic. Of course, they slammed New Orleans like nobody's business. The city was not too happy about that in real life. I mean, come on, it's The Simpsons, but I know they're not known for offensive humor, but still. It's a musical of A Streetcar Named Desire. I'm pretty sure not too many people were aware that there was no musical called A Streetcar Named Desire. Disappointing, I know, but what's not disappointing is this episode. And the director says that he had 3 heart attacks in his life after directing 3 plays. And now he's going to have 4. The episode's rather straightforward as it shows the townspeople like Otto, Lionel, Hudson, Flanders getting ready. Flanders plays the opposite of Marge, and they're the main 2 characters. Homer's addicted to his Game Boy, playing bowling on it. He decides to show up and eventually support Marge, and may not be a fan of it, but you know what? Homer is impressed at the end of the day, realizing that Marge has a good talent. And they go home after a very fun and exciting night. Anyways, I know that was quick, but again, a straightforward episode. Number 483, Sweet Seymour Skinner. I will not celebrate meaningless milestones. You know why? This was episode number 100. Yeah, Bart, it's show and tell, and he decides to sneak Santa's little helper, the dog, who runs crazy into school. And Ralph says, Miss Hoover, there's a dog in the vent. Stressed out Skinner tells groundskeeper Willie to come in the vents and find Santa's little helper. He got stuck in the gym. Oh, yes, that was so good. I'll talk about that in a second, but he falls in front of Superintendent Chalmers, fires Skinner. Ned takes over. He wants to bring the pal back in principal, and Chalmers wants to put the super in superintendent. Except nobody laughed at poor Chalmers. Bart and Milhouse wind up seeing Skinner at the Quickie Mart. And Skinner says it may not be a bad thing that he got fired because he can work on Billy and the Clonosaurus, a great American novel about a futuristic amusement park where dinosaurs are brought to life through advanced cloning techniques. Where Apu, the Quickie Mart guy, and his former bandmate, may I add, was very upset. Yeah, we'll talk about that later in a few weeks. Yeah, spoiler. But yeah, he got so upset for ripping off Jurassic Park, one of the most popular movies of all time. Principal Skinner, I get car sick in your office. Yeah, that's what Ralph said when Skinner looks back and realizes he's missing out on school. Bart goes into the base and he tells Skinner to come back because the school is falling apart under Flanders. And Homer chimes in because he wants Ned fired. And Martin is my favorite character in the episode because he's stuck in a cage on the roof, as you saw. My water dish is empty. And then he eventually sings, Toreador Garde, while ironing his clothes, as you just saw right there. And Chalmers is fine by it because Skinner really bugged him. And then Ned says, let's thank the Lord for another beautiful school day. Which Chalmers is outraged by the fact for saying a prayer in a public school. God has no place within these walls. He gets fired, and Skinner gets his job back for knowing everyone's names, and nothing ever happened. 42 is Itchy and Scratchy, the movie. Good one. Yep. It's parent-teacher conference night, and Homer goes to Lisa's class, and Marge goes to Bart's. Homer is praised for being a good father, learning everything from TV Guide, and Marge is chastised for Bart's bad behavior. Mr. Bopple says he could quite easily be the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court one day. And Bart is having a goofy time with Grandpa Simpson as dentures. Itchy and Scratchy, the movie, is coming out on Christmas. And Homer tries to get Bart to behave, only for Bart to manipulate his father into doing whatever. As you're looking at right there, we're watching the history of Itchy and Scratchy. That happy cat you just saw, which did very poorly. But the next year, Itchy came, and Steamboat Itchy, in a begging parody of Steamboat Willie, which, by the way, they called it Steamboat Lawsuit, the writers, because they thought they were going to get their pantsuit off by Disney. And one of the writers said leading up to the real movie in 2007, they were surprised that they weren't sued because there's a scene taken straight out of the 1928 real movie. As that's going on, Bart lets Maggie get away and drives a car. Chief Wiggum thinks it's cute. And look, there's a dog driving a bus. Homer is so angry that he rips up Bart's ticket to the exciting movie. The whole school goes crazy. Dustin Hoffman and Michael Jackson appear in it. They didn't use their own names, but you could clearly tell it was them, which is a reference to the fact that they actually got started on The Simpsons, not with them. Their real names. Poor Bart is sad. Milhouse saw it 13 times, Nelson 17. But it all works out because Bart is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court after all. 40 years later, takes Homer to the movie, which is being re-released in theater, and they have a happy ending. Episode number 41 is the day the violence died at Itchy and Scratchy again. It's the 75th anniversary. During the parade, Bart is goofing around and screwing around, and then he sees a bitter homeless man named Chester Lampwick, who's voiced by Kirk Douglas. And he claims to be the real creator of Itchy and Scratchy and actually proves it to him by showing off Manhattan Madness. Look out, Itchy. He's Irish. Yeah, Itchy runs afoul of an Irish man. And Bart tells Mr. Lampwick he's got to talk to Roger Myers Jr., whose father, of course, created, quote, created Itchy and Scratchy. They take it to court for Lionel Hutz and struggling in the case, but then Bart remembers something at the beginning of the episode. There's a drawing of Itchy. Yeah, we'll get to that part in a bit. That's one of my favorite scenes in the history of the show. But he gets it. It turns out that Lampwick wins. He wins a bunch of money. And Itchy and Scratchy goes bankrupt. So Krusty's scrambling to find stuff to put on TV instead of Itchy and Scratchy. So it's the amendment to B. This is not the bill from Schoolhouse Rock. But they did get the real voice actor, by the way. No, not that one. The amendment to B. Good news amendment. They ratified you. You're in the U.S. Constitution. We need another Vietnam to thin out their ranks a little. That's what Bart said. Oh my God. We learned about the process of the amendments. Which, yeah, we can make all sorts of crazy laws. Oh my goodness. All hope is lost for Itchy and Scratchy until Lester and Eliza save the day. Yeah, two crudely drawn characters of Bart and Lisa, like what they were originally in the late 80s, but their names are Lester and Eliza. And they save Itchy and Scratchy by getting it back to the airwaves. Bart and Lisa may be disappointed, but the fans aren't because it is such a great episode. Okay, we're done for this week. We got to talk about episodes 40 to 31 next week. Yep, should be a dandy. Gonna be a lot of classic episodes. There'll be spoilers, of course, but these episodes are like 30-some years old, so they're not really spoilers. Yes, I'm looking at episodes 40 to 31. We got a bunch of great ones, in my opinion. Anyways, time for thanking you. Catch you next week. So long.
You are watching WCTV. Wadsworth Community Television.